now we're going to start the show, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, and I introduce you the first comedian who is also from Greece, but he's really from Greece. But whatever, his name is difficult. His name is Socrates in glasses. That's how I remember it, in glasses. You see, in glasses. And, well, please give him love, attention, and a big hand. Ladies and gentlemen, Socrates!
And aquí le estamos viendo Stamatious. The first two comedian. How we all doing tonight? Yeah, you sound awesome. You're looking at me like I'm doing better than me, which is cool. It's true. I admit it. Yeah. And my name is Socrates. I am an American. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that. It's a very supportive crowd. I like this. It's going good so far. So if you're wondering, I am not a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I had sort of an issue. But I'm going to talk about a bunch of words tonight. The whole thing's going to be about words. I don't know if you noticed it or not, but the last couple of years I spent it basically alone in the house, making a lot of grunting and guttural noises, practicing my Dutch. But I became aware, how important words are. And when you're doing stand-up comedy in Europe in English, everybody has different levels of language ability. So the words become really critical, And so like one of the words that I find, I didn't know it was unknown, but it's really important. It's a fietspad. You know what this word means? It means a bike path. You know what a bike path's for? Bikes! And if you're riding your bike and you look up and you see a car driving on the bike path, and it's a little bike path, your first thought is, the hell is this idiot doing? Then I slowed down, got off to the right slightly, and there was a fence there, and a blind corner. And as I came around the corner, I saw the scooter, who was also thinking to himself, what the hell is this stupid car doing? And then he kind of went way off to the wrong side, my side. And when I saw the scooter, I thought, great, two idiots. But what I said was, ah! Then I flew for a little while. That was cool. The flying part was nice, It was calm, quiet. Then the landing part kicked in, and that's where it really started to suck. And you want to guess what I landed on? It's not my day. No. I kind of landed in this area here-ish. And so, yeah, if you're wondering, wow, that doesn't look so bad. It's broken. The shoulder is all broken in there, and they can't put a cast on it, so I'm wearing this little gravity sling, so hopefully the pieces will move back into place. And I asked the guy, I said, are you from the Netherlands? And I said it in Dutch because I thought that was the best way to do it. He said he was, but not French. I asked him how old he was, and he said he was 59. So I said, you do know that one of the basic rules of the bike path is you don't drive a fucking car on it. Anyway, so his explanation, if you're really curious, was he was following his GPS. I'm glad I didn't send him into a canal, into a building, And as far as I know, Putin is following his GPS too, so it's not a good excuse, is my point, is all I'm saying. So anyway, so I'm going to keep working on various other words. It's been a fun week, I'll put it through that way. Because this is 9 days also, by the way, if you're not curious how long this is. But, so if you've noticed the world is going to, I don't know, shit, and you're wondering what's the deal, and who's going to save us? Well, obviously, it's the politicians. Well, they're the ones who caused the problem, so I'm sure they'll fix it easy enough. But people don't understand about politics in general. They expect too much from it, and if you don't understand the words, that's part of the problem. So the thing with the word politics is any Greek father will tell you, that's a Greek word. And it comes from poly, which means many, and ticks, a blood-sucking parasite that spreads diseases. Politics. So if your expectations were understanding the situation, you would realize you're just pretty lucky that it's worked out as good as it has, Because the whole idea was, what the people wanted was democracy, which, if you have not guessed, that's a Greek word. It comes from demo, to try out, and Christi, which is Greek for wine. Because when the people, what did they want? Well, the people wanted democracy. They just wanted to try out the wine. They wanted to have a good time, get a little messed up, have a party, Which is why all the political organizations are both parties. There ain't nobody party like a Green Party. Oh, that's not good for the environment. Bunch of Camp Builders people in this room, oh my God. But I voted this time. I don't know if anybody else voted, but I decided to vote this time. I had time on my arm, and I actually did vote for Green because I figured that was the important thing to do. But there's all these words, and every culture has their own special little word. Do we have Germans here tonight? Either they learn to be quiet or they're not. Oh, wow, see, they learned to be quiet, and then I got a little tiny wave. Hello. Guten Tag. So, of course, the Germans have this wonderful word that they had to come up with to explain getting incredible enjoyment from the pain and suffering of another person, which is Schadenfreude, or something like that. And if you have Schadenfreude, you're going to enjoy my set, It wasn't that funny, but his arm was fucking broken, and I got to tell you, that cracked me up. So the Germans needed to have a word for this horrible thing. What are you feeling? Oh, I'm just enjoying this person's pain. You can't just say that again and again. You have to come up with a word, Like in America, we had to come up with a personality trait, and we had to come up with the word asshole. Because you can't describe it again and again. You just give up a word. It's a hole in the ass. But of course, the Dutch, being a nicer place, and of course they've accepted us all here, and I think we're all happy to be here. I know I am, even so. And the Dutch had to come up with a word for a warm, wonderful, fun evening, what we're having tonight, which is an evening that's based on not what I'm doing, but what we're all doing together. We make it, as a group, we make it. Of course, that word is gezellig. If you don't know it, now you know the greatest Dutch word is gezellig. And of course, it's a very Dutch word, because it starts with a ch, ends with a ch, got that zel in the middle. But it's a really nice thing, and it makes you appreciate the evening if you can do gezellig. It's a really nice thing. I think the hardest Dutch word to explain in so many ways is a word I'm learning more and more what it means. It's yeah. I didn't quite appreciate it as much as I do this week, and but now, who's the Colombian? Are you the Colombian? In American English, we only have like words for our little lovers, our favorite people. We have honey, sugar pie, sweetie bun, all fattening words because if you love someone, you got to give them heart disease. What's a Colombian word for my honey little baby?
Well, I have one for my CD, where you say chulo.
Chulo. That's kind of sweet. You know the Dutch word? Scratching. My favorite little thing in this life. Scratching. I don't get that. You had every other sound available to you. You went with scratching. And if you know Dutch, the J-A at the end makes it diminutive, it makes it small, so that's a teeny little schat. The thing that confuses me about scratching is that they shrink scratching down, and they call each other schat. Do you understand the lack of logic there? It's the long, short, I don't know, I just don't get it. I think scratch is a word. I personally prefer the word oucha, which is a little tiny onion. But oucha sounds nice. Oucha. It's a nicer sounding word, isn't it? Oucha. And oucha is another because it has ow. It's a great sound from Dutch. Ow, U-I, ow. Like the cow in the backyard is a cow. You don't say town, you say town. This is another fun thing you can do to Dutch people, but you have to really try. Because if you're trying to say the word town, and you say town, you'll get a couple of Dutch people that'll try to tell you to help you. Push an egg out. Town. You can get 5, 6 Dutch people. Town. It's your own little school of Dutch hidings all over this. Swim, my little kids. Now, of course, some Dutch words are just Dutchified. They just take a normal word, they Dutch it up. Or come on. Like, but some of the words are logical. Like, you know the Dutch shoe, that one they just, somebody chopped out of a piece of wood and started walking around with shoes on and logs on, you know? And it's for the first time, the guy's walking around, he's going, conk, 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 conk. And his friend said, hey, that's really cool, you carved out a log. What do you call them? Conk, conk, conk. These? Conk, conk. They're, Kolpen? And it's a logical name. I mean, you would see where that would come from, right? But of course, later they evolved. Someone came back, probably from England with a pair of shoes, and they said, well, what the hell are those? And they just touched it up. Well, they schoenen. It's because, you know, well, in there, and it's Dutch. Schoenen. The thing is this. I get the logic of Kolpen. I get the straight Dutchification of schoenen. But when they came to gloves, you know what the Dutch went with glove? Hand schoenen. Hand shoes. Hand shoes. This is phoning it in. I'm sorry, but this is just, I mean, Chachi was bad enough, but hand shoes? I just have issues with these things. So I was in Greece, my first trip after like a year and a half of hanging around by myself, going, it's gotta be funny summer. And I got to go to my family in Greece, and I hadn't been there for a while, and it was interesting to hang with them. And I'm an American, so the fact that I speak a little Dutch, I thought was impressive. It's the world's third hardest language. I had to say that because I learned a little Dutch. Got to brag if you can, and you all speak a little Dutch, so be proud of yourself. And my cousin asked for something, and I handed it to her, and she said, thank you. And without even thinking about it, I said the Dutch response, which of course, graag gedaan. Lots of chas in there. And she looked at me like I had a stroke. She was worried, you know, because her father had passed away the same way. And she said, what the hell, are you okay? And I said, oh, sorry, I just said the little Dutch thing. She said, what the hell did you say? Now, by now, my family's gathered around. I said, graag gedaan. And they all mocked me. They mocked me, I'm serious. And I said something in Greek, which was like a copy move, but I didn't say a copy move. I said a copy move because, you know. And they told me I sounded German. Do you understand how hurtful that is? I mean, that's not, they're Greeks. I'm an American and a Greek. I live in the Netherlands. There's no point. There's no part of that that's nice. You understand? I mean, you understand, right? You sound German. Hey, thanks, man. I don't get stuff like that. So, I'm looking for love. A helping hand, either way. I was trying to do the Tinder thing, and somebody asked me, you know, how's it going? And I said, not well. And they said, well, what's your filter? And I said, well, you know, like to have kids, so 22 to 26. He gently told me I should be dating cougars, you know, older women. But the thing is, I'm 56. Yeah, you do math on that, you know, so I'm dating a 72-year-old now. It's going well. We're getting a little serious, you know. Talking about having kids. Well, her nickname is Oma. I'm not sure what it means, but it sounds better than Shashi, is all I'm saying. And being woke enough, you know, before my plan, I'm carrying a baby, is my point. But, you know, this worked better before I couldn't feed myself so well for a week and stuff. It's a great way to lose weight, by the way. Break an arm. Oh yeah, so relationships. I don't know if you guys, is anybody in relationships? We have a bunch of relationship people.
Yeah.
Has anybody had a relationship? Bunch of masturbators. I get it, it's cool. No one should be ashamed. I had the world's dumbest argument. I don't know, this is an argument completely based on words and how wrong you can be if you don't get a word right. I had said to my girlfriend at the time that, say what you will about Britney Spears, she had a better and more successful career than Debbie Gibson. And now, if you don't know who Debbie Gibson is, it proves I was right. Now, the problem with what this argument has done with it possibly was, is the fact that the next day when she apologized to me and said, I'm sorry about that, I actually meant Madonna. Exactly, that was my face as well. The word matters, doesn't it? Debbie Gibson, it's a word, and it means something different than Madonna. In one case, it means you're really, really wrong in a stupid argument. There's not much more to that. That's about as far as that thing goes. Sometimes the thing's good, sometimes there's something on it. But we run on time here, I'm not getting the flag, we cool? Okay, no problem, just checking. But, so, if you want advice, well, one, don't go around blind corners, trust me on that one. And I almost went straight, too, that's the worst of it, but I made that right-hand turn. But life is difficult, it's very, very stressful, some days more than others. But one of the most important things is to maintain a work and life balance. And one of the ways you do this is that you never, ever take your work home with you. Especially, and this applies doubly, if you're a kindergarten teacher. Yeah, fool me once, that's all I'm saying. But it's difficult when your life goals conflict, with your personal beliefs, your morality, etc. And a friend of mine, he's a flat earther, but he's also a globalist. I have a flat earther friend. I'm not going to argue about it. I'll tell you this as a complete aside. The most interesting question I was ever asked in a room of flat earthers, and this was just asked to the room, and I did not answer it because they don't believe in rockets, And I lived in Florida. I used to watch them once. She said, "Why do they launch them up?" I mean, I wanted to do the follow-up as opposed to, skipping them along the ground. I mean, popping them off the ice dam on the side. If you've done your research, we're surrounded by an ice dam. You would think, if you believe the Earth is held in by an ice dam, global warming would really freak you out, They don't seem to, because all I know is that if the world melted, the ice dam rolled off, we'd be screwed. So I'm glad you're not with so much of a flat earther crowd. That's good. So it's like life is overwhelming, again, some days more than others. And, oh, by the way, they always talk about in the Netherlands, no matter what you have cancer, the doctor gives you paracetamol. Bullshit. At least in my cases. Whenever I see doctors, the first thing they say, "Want some fentanyl?" Then they gave me morphine, another shot on morphine, they gave me some Oxycontin. And I say, "Can I get some more Oxycontin?" They're like, "Yes." So, not wow, it sucks, this isn't good. I want that paracetamol injury, for God's sakes. So we were talking a while ago, and a friend of mine asked me, do you remember when the first time you had sex? And the truth is, I don't remember when I lost my virginity, because it was just such an overwhelming experience for me. Well, I had never been to prison before. I learned a lot of things, though. I found out in some ways, being gay and being straight, they're not always that different. I'll give you an example. As a straight man, I go to a bar, I can't get laid. End up going home at the end of the night. However, as a gay man, I choose not to get laid. See, at the end of the night, the end result is exactly the same. But the difference is empowering. See, now I get to be the stuck little bitch who's too good to suck a dick. Yeah, I figured I'd go through the end of that one. Huh? You good? All right. So, one last thing. I decided again, I felt I should have a relationship of some sort. So I'm going to buy a dog. Well, a friend of mine, he got a dog, and the guy's a nihilist. But he names his dog Karma. And yet it's a male dog. So when people find out the dog's name, they'll always say, "Hey, Karma's a bitch." He goes, "Nah, man. Karma's just a dog. You make your own reality." Well, I don't know about all the rest of you. If you assume your own bunch of expats, I think I can speak for all of us, where I can say I moved to the Netherlands for the food. But I'm staying for the weather. My name is Stamatious, and so is his. Thank you all so much. Make my you better. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.